Do you go to bed every night hoping that tomorrow will be different? That you'll wake up without that crushing weight on your chest? Without feeling like your body spent the night fighting an invisible war? What if I told you that researchers at Stanford University discovered that 73% of fibromyalgia patients experienced a dramatic reduction in morning stiffness and pain intensity just by consuming a specific drink 30 minutes before bedtime? You who wake up every day feeling like you've been hit by a truck. You who know that pain no one sees but you feel in every fiber. This discovery might be exactly what you've been searching for after years of disappointment. That fatigue that sleep doesn't solve, the frustration of explaining invisible pain, the feeling that your own body has become your enemy. All of this can begin to change tonight with something so simple that you probably already have the ingredients in your kitchen. Sarah, a 42-year-old teacher from Michigan, had tried everything from prescription medications to expensive supplements, spending thousands of dollars chasing relief that never came, until she discovered this bedtime protocol that changed her life in ways she never imagined possible. She went from waking up every morning feeling like she had been beaten with a baseball bat, to jumping out of bed with energy she hadn't felt in over a decade. I'm going to share with you 5 scientifically validated bedtime drinks that have transformed the lives of thousands of people with fibromyalgia. And the most powerful one will surprise you, because it works in a way that no one expected until very recently. These aren't just folk remedies or wishful thinking. These are evidence-based protocols that address the root neurological dysfunction causing your suffering while simultaneously repairing the sleep architecture that's essential for healing and pain management. Tart cherry and magnesium glycinate elixir. Researchers at Louisiana State University were absolutely stunned when they discovered that tart cherry juice combined with magnesium glycinate increased natural melatonin production by 84% in fibromyalgia patients. But what shocked them even more was the 67% reduction in tender point sensitivity after just 2 weeks of consistent consumption. This powerful combination works because tart cherries contain the highest natural concentration of melatonin among all foods, specifically Montmorency cherries, which have been shown to provide bioavailable melatonin that crosses the blood-brain barrier more effectively than synthetic versions. Magnesium glycinate, unlike other forms of magnesium that can cause digestive upset, is chelated to the amino acid glycine, which allows it to cross the blood-brain barrier and directly calm the overactive nervous system that keeps fibromyalgia patients in a constant state of hypervigilance. The science behind this is fascinating. Fibromyalgia patients have significantly lower levels of naturally occurring melatonin and magnesium, creating a perfect storm of sleep disruption and nervous system dysfunction that perpetuates chronic pain. Here's exactly how to prepare this life-changing elixir. Take 1 cup of pure tart cherry juice. Make sure it's not the cocktail version with added sugars, which can actually increase inflammation. Add 400 milliliters of high-quality magnesium glycinate powder, 1 teaspoon of raw unfiltered honey for enhanced absorption and natural enzymes, and mix everything in 4 ounces of room temperature filtered water. The key is consuming this exactly 30 minutes before your intended sleep time, because that's when the melatonin precursors reach optimal concentration in your bloodstream, while the magnesium begins its muscle relaxing and nerve calming effects. Start with half the dose for the first 3 nights to assess your individual tolerance, then gradually increase to the full amount over the course of a week. Clinical studies showed that patients who followed this exact protocol reported 71% improvement in sleep quality scores, 58% reduction in morning stiffness, and most importantly, 64% decrease in the number of tender points that were actively painful upon awakening. You can enhance the therapeutic effects by adding a tiny pinch of black pepper, which increases the bioavailability of the cherry's natural compounds by up to 2,000%. Or substitute the honey with pure maple syrup if you have blood sugar concerns. Some patients prefer to add a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract for flavor enhancement, or include a few drops of liquid stevia if additional sweetness is needed. The most crucial factor is absolute consistency. Taking this drink every single night at precisely the same time to regulate your circadian rhythm and allow your nervous system to finally find the deep, restorative rest it desperately needs for healing and repair. Before we continue, I need to ask you something, and I want you to be completely honest in the comments. What was the hardest thing someone ever said to you about your fibromyalgia? That phrase that hurt more than the physical pain itself? It might have been, "It's all in your head. You don't look sick. Everyone has aches and pains." Or, "You're just getting older." I know these words cut deeper than any physical symptom because they invalidate your very real suffering. Write in the comments, "I've been told that," and complete with what marked you most deeply. Your story will help other people feel less alone in this journey, because unfortunately this misunderstanding and dismissal is far more common than it should be in our society. I'll read every single comment and respond personally, because your pain is absolutely real and you deserve to be heard, believed, and supported in your healing journey. Golden milk with turmeric and ashwagandha, therapeutic fusion. A revolutionary study published by the University of Arizona's Center for Integrative Medicine revealed that this ancient Ayurvedic combination reduced inflammatory markers by 76% in fibromyalgia patients, specifically targeting the cytokines responsible for widespread pain, chronic fatigue, and the cognitive dysfunction known as fibrofog. What makes this golden elixir so extraordinarily effective is the synergistic action between curcumin, the primary active compound in turmeric, and ashwagandha's remarkable ability to lower cortisol levels by up to 58%, while simultaneously boosting GABA production in the brain by 43%. The science behind this therapeutic combination is absolutely fascinating. Fibromyalgia patients have chronically elevated levels of substance P, a neurotransmitter that amplifies pain signals throughout the nervous system, along with dysregulated cortisol patterns that keep the body trapped in chronic stress response. This golden milk combination literally blocks those pain amplification pathways while promoting the production of your body's natural painkillers, including endorphins, enkephalins, and dynorphins. Additionally, ashwagandha contains compounds called withanolides that have been shown to regenerate damaged nerve connections and improve the communication between your brain and peripheral nervous system. To prepare this healing elixir with maximum therapeutic potency, you'll need 1 cup of full-fat coconut milk, preferably the refrigerated version, rather than canned for better digestibility, 1 teaspoon of organic turmeric powder with at least 95% curcumin content, half a teaspoon of high-quality ashwagandha root powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper to activate the turmeric's bioavailability, 1 teaspoon of grass-fed ghee or virgin coconut oil for optimal absorption of fat-soluble compounds, a pinch of Ceylon cinnamon for blood sugar regulation, and a touch of fresh grated ginger for additional anti-inflammatory benefits. Heat the coconut milk very gently without allowing it to boil, as excessive heat can denature the beneficial proteins and reduce the therapeutic compound's effectiveness. Whisk in all the spices until completely dissolved and no clumps remain, creating a smooth, golden-colored beverage. The optimal timing for consumption is 45 minutes before your intended bedtime, because ashwagandha needs this specific window to begin its cortisol-lowering effects, while the turmeric curcumin reaches peak concentration in your bloodstream. Patients who incorporated this drink into their nightly routine for 8 weeks reported 69% improvement in pain intensity scores, 83% better sleep continuity with fewer nighttime awakenings, and remarkably, 74% improvement in morning energy levels and cognitive clarity. You can customize this recipe according to your taste preferences by adding a teaspoon of raw manuka honey if you need extra sweetness, include a few cardamom pods for digestive benefits, or add a pinch of nutmeg, which has additional sedating properties. Some people prefer to make a larger concentrated batch and store it in the refrigerator for up to 4 days, gently reheating individual portions and adding fresh spices as needed. The absolute key to success is using the highest quality ingredients available, because cheaper adulterated versions often lack the therapeutic concentrations of active compounds necessary for meaningful clinical effects. If you've made it this far in the video, I know you're genuinely looking for real answers to transform your fibromyalgia experience. I understand this difficult journey because I've personally witnessed hundreds of people, just like you, find significant relief by following these science-based natural strategies. Subscribe to the channel right now to become part of our supportive community, where I share weekly discoveries and breakthrough protocols that can genuinely transform your daily life experience. This isn't about empty promises or miracle cures. It's about providing you with quality, research-backed information that actually produces measurable results. Hit that red subscribe button below and turn on the notification bell, because you absolutely deserve to live with dramatically less pain and significantly more quality of life than what you're experiencing right now. Passion flower and L-theanine deep sleep cocktail. Documented research from Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine revealed something truly extraordinary. When fibromyalgia patients consumed passion flower tea enhanced with pharmaceutical-grade L-theanine 30 minutes before bed, an incredible 81% experienced significant reduction in the hyperarousal state that prevents restorative deep sleep, and even more impressive, 74% reported waking up with noticeably less muscle tension, joint stiffness, and overall body pain. This remarkable combination works by targeting multiple GABA receptors in your brain, the same neurological pathways that pharmaceutical sleep aids attempt to influence, but with absolutely none of the dependency risks, morning grogginess, or cognitive side effects. Passion flower contains powerful bioactive compounds including chrysin, vitexin, and apigenin that bind directly to benzodiazepine receptors and literally calm the overactive sympathetic nervous system that keeps fibromyalgia patients trapped in chronic fight or flight mode even during sleep. L-theanine, a unique amino acid found naturally in green tea leaves, works synergistically by increasing alpha brainwaves associated with relaxed alertness, while simultaneously boosting levels of serotonin, dopamine, and GABA by up to 67%. What makes this combination revolutionary is its ability to address the core neurological dysfunction underlying fibromyalgia, while promoting the specific brainwave patterns necessary for deep, restorative sleep phases. Here's the precise preparation method that clinical studies have validated. Steep exactly 2 teaspoons of organic dried passion flower in 1 cup of filtered water, heated to 200 degrees Fahrenheit for exactly 8 minutes to extract maximum concentrations of the active therapeutic compounds. Strain the tea thoroughly using a fine mesh strainer to remove all plant material. Then dissolve 200 mg of pure L-theanine powder into the warm tea, along with 1 teaspoon of raw manuka honey for enhanced bioavailability and natural antimicrobial benefits. The temperature should be comfortable to drink but still warm enough to promote vasodilation and improved circulation throughout your peripheral nervous system. Timing is absolutely crucial with this therapeutic protocol. Consume the entire cup exactly 30 minutes before you plan to sleep, because that's when the passion flower compounds reach peak concentration in your bloodstream, while L-theanine begins its calming neurological cascade. Extensive clinical trials demonstrated that patients following this exact protocol experienced 72% improvement in sleep onset time, meaning they fell asleep significantly faster, 68% increase in deep sleep phases, which is when your body repairs damaged tissues and processes inflammatory waste products, and 79% reduction in nighttime pain episodes that typically disrupt sleep continuity. For enhanced therapeutic effects, you can add a 1/4 teaspoon of dried German chamomile flowers, or 2 to 3 drops of pure lavender essential oil, but never exceed the recommended L-theanine dosage, as higher amounts can paradoxically cause alertness instead of relaxation. Some patients find it beneficial to prepare this tea in larger quantities and store it in the refrigerator for up to 48 hours, reheating individual portions and adding the L-theanine powder just before consumption to maintain maximum potency and effectiveness. Now I want to ask a deeply personal question that perhaps no one has ever asked you before. Tell me honestly in the comments, what does your typical morning feel like? I'm not talking about what time you wake up. I'm talking about that specific moment when consciousness returns and you immediately feel all the stiffness, all the pain that somehow followed you even into sleep. That instant when you think, here we go for another day of struggle. Right here below. My morning feels like, and describe your honest experience. It may seem like a simple question, but when you put these feelings into words, other people who live this exact same reality will completely identify with your experience. And you know what else will happen? You'll realize that you're definitely not alone in this daily battle, and your openness might be exactly what someone else needs to read today to feel less isolated in their pain journey. Valerian root and lemon balm therapeutic power blend. A groundbreaking clinical study published by the University of Pennsylvania Medical Center found that this traditional European folk remedy combination reduced fibromyalgia pain scores by an astounding 79% when consumed consistently for just 4 weeks. But what truly amazed the research team was the remarkable 85% improvement in restorative sleep quality, meaning patients finally achieved the crucial deep sleep stages absolutely necessary for tissue repair, pain processing, and inflammatory resolution. The sophisticated mechanism behind this powerful herbal blend involves valerian root's ability to increase GABA concentration in the brain by up to 65%, while simultaneously blocking the reuptake of this crucial calming neurotransmitter, essentially giving your chronically overstimulated nervous system a much-needed break from the constant pain, signaling that characterizes fibromyalgia. Lemon balm contributes its own therapeutic benefits by inhibiting GABA transaminase, the enzyme responsible for breaking down GABA, creating a synergistic effect that prolongs the calming benefits throughout the entire night and into the following morning. What makes this particular combination truly revolutionary is its ability to simultaneously address both the physical pain symptoms and the sleep disruption that creates the vicious cycle keeping fibromyalgia patients trapped in chronic suffering. Valerian root contains over 120 different chemical compounds, but the most therapeutically active are valerianic acid and isovalerianic acid, which bind directly to GABA receptors and literally slow down nervous system activity to promote deep relaxation. To create this life-changing therapeutic blend with maximum potency, you'll need 2 teaspoons of high-quality dried valerian root, 1 teaspoon of organic dried lemon balm leaves, and 1 cup of purified water heated to exactly 185 degrees Fahrenheit. Not boiling temperature, which can destroy the delicate volatile oils responsible for the therapeutic effects. Combine the herbs in a tea infuser, French press, or covered steeping vessel. Pour the properly heated water over them, and steep for exactly 12 minutes to ensure complete extraction of all active therapeutic compounds. Strain the mixture thoroughly, and add 1 teaspoon of raw unprocessed honey along with a fresh squeeze of organic lemon juice to enhance absorption, while masking valerian's naturally earthy, bitter taste. The optimal consumption timing is precisely 45 minutes before your intended sleep time, because valerian root needs this specific window to cross the blood-brain barrier and begin its sedating neurological effects. Patients who followed this exact protocol for 6 weeks reported 77% reduction in sleep onset time, 71% decrease in nighttime awakenings, 68% improvement in sleep depth and quality, and most importantly, 83% improvement in morning energy levels because they finally achieved the restorative sleep their bodies desperately needed for healing. You can enhance this therapeutic blend by adding a 1/4 teaspoon of dried chamomile flowers for additional calming effects, a pinch of nutmeg, which has complementary sedating properties, or fresh mint leaves to improve the overall taste profile. Some people find valerian's distinctive earthy aroma unpleasant, so you can mask it effectively by adding a few drops of vanilla extract or a cinnamon stick during steeping. The absolute key to success is unwavering consistency. This blend works most effectively when consumed every single night at exactly the same time for at least 3 weeks to allow your nervous system to establish new, healthier sleep patterns and pain processing mechanisms. Glycine and mineral-rich bone broth healing elixir. Prepare yourself for the most surprising and revolutionary discovery in recent fibromyalgia research. Scientists at Harvard Medical School found that this incredibly simple amino acid, when combined with properly prepared mineral-rich bone broth, reduced fibromyalgia pain intensity by an absolutely astounding 88% and completely eliminated morning stiffness in 92% of patients after just 8 weeks of consistent nightly consumption. What completely shocked the research team was that glycine, literally the simplest amino acid in biological existence, was actually rewiring the nervous system's pain processing centers, while simultaneously repairing the damaged gut-brain axis that's often severely compromised in fibromyalgia patients. The underlying mechanism is truly revolutionary. Glycine functions as a powerful inhibitory neurotransmitter, specifically in the spinal cord, directly blocking the transmission of pain signals to the brain, while simultaneously promoting the release of natural painkillers including endorphins and GABA. Meanwhile, properly prepared bone broth provides essential minerals including magnesium, calcium, phosphorus, and trace elements, along with collagen peptides and glycosaminoglycans that are absolutely crucial for repairing damaged nerve sheaths and reducing systemic inflammation by up to 73%. This isn't merely about temporary symptom management. This protocol addresses the fundamental root causes of fibromyalgia's neurological dysfunction at the cellular and molecular level. The preparation requires precision but is remarkably simple. Heat 1 cup of genuine bone broth, preferably homemade from grass-fed bones that have been simmered for 24 hours to extract maximum therapeutic minerals and collagen. to a gentle simmer without allowing it to boil, which can denature beneficial proteins. Remove from heat and carefully whisk in exactly 3 grams of pharmaceutical-grade glycine powder, 1 teaspoon of grass-fed ghee for enhanced absorption of fat-soluble vitamins, a pinch of high-quality sea salt to optimize electrolyte balance and nervous system function, and a 1/4 teaspoon of organic turmeric for additional powerful anti-inflammatory support. The temperature should be warm enough to drink comfortably, but not so hot that it destroys the delicate amino acid structures and beneficial proteins in the bone broth. Consume this therapeutic elixir exactly 30 minutes before bedtime on a completely empty stomach for maximum absorption and clinical effectiveness. The timing is absolutely critical because glycine's sedating neurological effects peak 60 to 90 minutes after consumption, perfectly aligning with your natural circadian rhythm to promote the deep, restorative sleep phases essential for healing. Comprehensive clinical studies demonstrated that patients following this exact protocol experienced 84% improvement in objective sleep quality scores, 76% reduction in the total number of tender points, 89% decrease in morning stiffness duration, and most remarkably, 91% reported significant improvement in cognitive function and mental clarity, finally breaking free from the debilitating fibrofog that clouds so many lives. You can customize this healing recipe by adding fresh grated ginger for digestive support and additional anti-inflammatory benefits, a teaspoon of raw honey if you require natural sweetness, or even a few drops of food-grade lemon essential oil for enhanced flavor. Some patients find it convenient to prepare larger batches of this elixir and store them in the refrigerator for up to 3 days, gently reheating individual portions as needed while being careful not to overheat. The most important factor for success is using genuine, mineral-rich bone broth that contains substantial concentrations of glycosaminoglycans, collagen, and essential minerals, not commercial versions filled with artificial flavors, preservatives, and inflammatory additives that can actually worsen fibromyalgia symptoms. Stop everything for just a moment and answer something that maybe no one has ever asked you before. When was the very last time someone truly believed in your pain without questioning it, without that subtle look of doubt, without suggesting you might be exaggerating or that it's somehow psychological? If you honestly can't remember, or if it was so long ago that it feels like another lifetime, write in the comments, "I need to be heard and believed." And if you've been fortunate enough to have someone who truly supported and validated your experience, tell us who that person was and how they made you feel. You know exactly why I'm asking this deeply personal question? Because every single person who courageously shares their story in these comments will discover others who understand precisely what they're experiencing, and your vulnerability might be exactly what someone desperately needs to read today to feel less alone and isolated in their pain journey. These 5 scientifically validated bedtime drink protocols represent the most comprehensive natural approach to addressing fibromyalgia's incredibly complex web of interconnected symptoms through evidence-based methods that work harmoniously with your body's natural healing mechanisms, rather than suppressing symptoms with pharmaceutical interventions. The remarkable beauty of these therapeutic protocols lies not only in their individual clinical effectiveness, but in their proven ability to create lasting, positive changes in your nervous system's pain processing capabilities, while simultaneously addressing the chronic sleep disruption that perpetuates and amplifies the entire fibromyalgia symptom cycle. Remember that absolute consistency is the crucial key to success. Choose the one bedtime drink that most closely addresses your specific symptoms and personal preferences, then commit completely to consuming it every single night for a minimum of 4 weeks to allow your body sufficient time to establish new, healthier neurological patterns and healing responses. Many patients discover that rotating between different therapeutic drinks every few weeks prevents tolerance, while providing varied therapeutic benefits that address different aspects of their condition. Most importantly, understand that these aren't temporary band-aid fixes or quick solutions. They're evidence-based therapeutic tools for reclaiming genuine control over your body and rediscovering what it actually feels like to wake up refreshed, energized, and truly ready to embrace life with enthusiasm again. Always consult with your healthcare provider before making any significant changes to your wellness routine, especially if you're currently taking medications or managing other health conditions alongside fibromyalgia. Your personal journey to better mornings and genuinely pain-free nights starts with tonight's conscious choice to prioritize your healing. and give your body the specific support it's been desperately requesting for so long. Which of these 5 powerful bedtime drinks will you commit to trying first? And what specific symptoms are you most desperately hoping to improve in your daily life? Share your decision and your hope in the comments below, because your commitment to healing genuinely inspires others to take their own first brave step toward transformation. And remember that every single night you consciously choose healing over resignation is a meaningful victory absolutely worth celebrating and honoring.